Hello and welcome back to my channel. So Oren is 5 weeks old now, and I just wanted to sort of sum up the first 5 weeks. It's such a strange feeling because 5 weeks sounds like such a short time. It's gone so quick, yet I feel like he's always been here. I can't almost remember life without him, before him, and it's really weird as well. I don't remember being pregnant or how it felt, which I'm gutted about. It feels like he just arrived. It's weird. But he's 5 weeks now and he is absolutely incredible. He's like the best thing ever in the world. Yeah, he's absolutely great. So first 4 or 5 weeks of motherhood, what's it like? So it took me about a week to kind of get over my labour. I was really tired. I was sore from my C-section, and I was having quite a few troubles. I was having kind of flashbacks of my labour, and I also was waking up in the middle of the night. I was kind of dreaming that we'd managed to kind of forget and leave him in bed with us, and he was, I don't know, we either squashed him or he'd stopped breathing. I'd wake up in a panic going, he's dead, he's not breathing. I think a lot of new mums must do this. It's just being able to sleep but switch off. Your brain doesn't quite switch off, and because you're not with them, you just end up like staring at them, waiting for them to breathe, and then you're okay. So yeah, that was a bit traumatic. So the first week was sort of getting just a blur. It feels like freaking ages ago. Yeah, he was great. It was good getting used to him. He was so easy that first week, to be fair. He only cried a tiny bit if he was hungry, a tiny bit if he needed changing, and he'd stop straight away. And I was like, we've got an easy baby, I don't want to jinx it. But he was just so easygoing, such a calm baby. Just like if he was upset, you could just put him on me and he would just settle. I think just with babies do settle the mums because they can hear your heartbeat, and that's what they're used to. It must be really scary that you've been squished up and then all of a sudden you're in this big open world. Yeah. It must be like scary. So from then on, he's had a few tummy troubles, which a lot of babies do, and I felt quite guilty about it because every time that I was googling, it was like, breastfed babies do not have this trouble. And I was like, I'm such a failure, I failed at breastfeeding. And I know that it's BS now, but it just makes you feel rubbish. And I've, you know, it could be true, but I've spoke to my friends that do breastfeed and they were like, no, my baby's had this as well, you know, don't stress about it. So he first got constipation, I think about week 2, and it's horrible. You really feel for them because they're proper trying to go and they can't understand it, and they're really uncomfortable, and they do this screaming cry that just breaks your heart. So we looked up different things, we changed his formula, and that seemed to help over a couple of days. But my health visitor suggested using apple juice. Now I've heard mixed things about this, so always check with your doctor, but we used 1 ounce of pure apple juice to 1 ounce of water in his bottle, and we done that, and the next day he went. So basically his like poo was getting like little bits in it, and then he was struggling to go, but he still was going daily. But I know bottle fed babies, some of them, it's not uncommon for them to not go for 3 or 5 days, but he was very uncomfortable. He then sort of got colicky as well, so he was getting just like trapped wind all the time. He still has it now. So lots of burping. We've used Infracol, which helps, but we actually think that brought on the constipation because too much of it can cause the constipation. So it's just like, what one do you want him to have? It's really hard. But that's been the only sort of hard bit with him, to be fair. And he's such a sweet baby that he only literally cries when he's uncomfortable, and then he stops. He's not constant, and I know some babies that are so uncomfortable that they'll cry all night, but he's literally just for that moment. But it's absolutely heartbreaking when you're trying your hardest to help them, and I'm burping him so much I feel like I'm beating him up. I hate it, and I'm like, I don't want to hurt him. Yeah, and we've had a lot of kind of vomiting because he does not stop eating. Oh my days, oh my days. He got he was part of this thing called P-Pod, which was in a kind of research for bigger babies, So he had his follow-up, his 4-week follow-up last week, and in 4 weeks he had put on 3 pounds and grown 8 centimeters. He is just a gannet. I mean, oh. This is how small he was the day he was born. He's not that small anymore. I think in the last week since that test, he's probably grown another centimetre or 2. He is just long, and he's filling out a little bit. He's not chubby, but he's got chubby cheeks now and chubby thighs, and before he was just all skinny. That makes me really sad. I feel like he's not newborn anymore. I keep saying to Tom, I'm like, it's gonna leave home next week. God. So yeah, we've had the kind of digestive tummy issues again, which I think is really, really common because their digestion systems are only just developing. And then yeah, he's really kind of starting to develop now, which again I love but hate, because like he's so grown up now that he's actually making like cooing noises, and he giggles and he laughs and smiles. He reacts to things. He's always looked around, but he's properly reacts now. So if Tom works from home, he's not here today, but if he walks downstairs, Oren will sort of watch him come down. If he goes back upstairs, he'll watch him go up. If he hears his voice, he'll look for him. He looks for me. He's actually started reaching towards our dog as well. When she's there, he kind of looks at her and he'll reach out his hand, and it's crazy that he's doing that already. It feels like he should be doing nothing but sleeping. He loves music, absolutely loves music. He loves lights, which I spoke about before in my baby essentials video. He absolutely loves being kind of stimulated, mind stimulated, and then he just falls asleep. But he'll be staring at lights for like an hour, and I put him in the cot yesterday so I could get some jobs done, but just watching him like in awe at these lights and this sound, it's just absolutely amazing. It's hard kind of getting into a routine, and again, speaking to friends, we are really, really lucky, touch wood, that he's quite good and he sleeps a lot, and he's just very, very easygoing. It's slowly starting to change. He's getting a little bit more drama queenish, but not too much. So I just I use the puddle pod a lot when we come down in the morning, and just try and get all the jobs done, and then when he goes to bed at night I get all the jobs done again. So it is finding that sort of balance, I think, with you and your partner, if you're on your own, just kind of figuring out what works for you and what's your priority. So again, yesterday I was on my own all day, and I probably went most of the day without eating, because it just doesn't happen. It just doesn't happen. You don't get a chance. And it's not that they're constantly crying, it's things like you do so much washing. It's unbelievable. My washing machine is on constantly, so you'll be sorting out washing, or you'll be putting washing away, or you'll be doing washing up in the kitchen, or you'll have to hoover the house, and or shower, and it's prioritizing what you do. That's the biggest thing. You can try and plan for it, but it doesn't always happen. So we've got into this habit that we will do everything before we go to bed, but then you'll need to redo it again in the morning. But just trying to get into that habit. But motherhood is a very weird thing with your first baby. It doesn't feel like you're a mum, but you know you are, and you know that you've got this thing that's yours, but it doesn't. It's really weird. I really thought I'd worry about the poo and the sick, but it does not bother me. I'm constantly covered in sick. It doesn't bother me as long as he's not covered in sick. It's fine, but me, ugh, I'm covered in sick. But that's the first sort of like, yeah, there's not much to say because he doesn't do much much at the moment, but I want to keep these vlogs for him. I want him to be able to view, you know, how things were, and the pictures in case, you know, they disappear. I just love keeping a log of everything. So yeah, if you want more baby spam, add me to Instagram. I'm AmandaDawn_Bliss. Bliss is the name of my company. That might be wrong. What is my what is my Instagram handle? I have no idea. I've got a curly girl one as well. So AmandaDawn_Bliss is my Instagram, and you can see it's all pretty much full of him. So you're free to go over there and follow me and send me a message if you've got any questions, because obviously if you haven't seen it before, he is a donor egg baby. Just check out my channel and you can see the whole story, because I don't need to talk about that. So we went on Lorraine Kelly last week, so you might have caught the three of us on there. So there was me, Oren and Tom, and he was golden as soon as we got off screen, and then he was crying all day with his colic till we got home. So yeah, so that's a little update of him. I hope you've enjoyed all the little bits that I've kind of pushed in of him so you can have a good nose, and yeah, I will see you in the next one.